pass your DMV driving permit test. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. In order to pass your DMV permit test, and assure you will know your stuff when you hit the road, you really need to take a good quality driver education course. Then take as many practice permit tests as possible prior to going into DMV. Remember the small ones. Read your DMV handbook and know it cold. It may seem overboard to know some of the smaller details, and in fact, those small ones are the toughest to remember because they seem less critical to actual driving safety. But you can never know too much when it comes to driving, and if you ace your permit test, you can be sure you will avoid expensive tickets later on. Take pride in knowing exactly how many feet you need to park away from a fire hydrant. Be an expert. Focus on the numbers. The most difficult test questions for everyone are those that have numbers in them. Speed limits, how many feet for this and that, dollar amounts for fines, and so forth. Many of the rules are very similar, and it can be easy to confuse one driving number with another. In fact, chances are very good you will miss 50% more test questions with numbers than anything else. Smart students will make a one-page table or listing of any numbers they encounter in the DMV handbook. Then, put similar numbers together so they are easier to remember. In California, for example, the speed limit is the same, 25 miles per hour, for residential, business districts and school zones. So group those together. 200 feet is the number for using the bike lane on right turns, using the center left turn lane, and visibility for a safe U-turn. You get the idea. Lumping them together is a great way to learn and remember these rules. Sponsored link Fast&Free Auto Quotes. Over 1 million customers insured nationwide. Take an in-class driver education course. We've all heard that online driver ed courses are more convenient, and easier, and shorter, and so forth, but you never hear anyone tell you how effective they are. This is one subject you do not want to cheat your way through. We are dealing with life and death issues here, and if you don't know the rules, big problems can result. When you take an in-class course, you can ask questions, get things clarified or said a different way, and hear real examples from an experienced teacher of how things really work on the roadway. Most of these online driving lessons are unregulated or only meet very minimal standards. And they offer no assistance at all in understanding something you might be having trouble with. So if you can get into a classroom course, consider it time well spent. If you can't find one, then an online course is your next best option. Write on your DMV permit test. Yes, really. In most states, there is absolutely no rule against marking up your written test a bit at DMV. And it can really help. For example, when you are asked about the rules at a complicated intersection, it can be tough to visualize the scenario they are asking you about. Throw in 3 or 4 complicated answers, and you can wind up totally overloaded with details. Just use the margin of your test and quickly sketch the intersection before you work through the answers. When you actually see it on paper, it is a lot easier to understand the rules and get the question right. Take a practice permit test, or 10. Find and work through as many sample DMV test questions as you can. Be sure they apply to the rules in your state, or apply properly to the driving rules that are valid across the nation. Useful links: mypracticepermitist.com, California DMV sample tests, fast and free auto quotes. Over 1 million customers insured nationwide.